Hey everyone, this is the Effect AI biweekly DAO call, March 20th, 2024. And let's dive right in. So we got two things on the agenda. I guess for now, let's just see if you have any. We all saw the roadmap that you just posted on the new Effect AI website. It's nice to see it all happening. So do you have any updates you'd like to share about V2 and the website or anything else?
Yes, sorry, I'm back. I was just looking for a place to call. Um, yeah, so the new website came out. There was a big update. Jeffrey has been doing lots of work on that side, like programming and creating this 3D blob animation that's actually transitioning when you move pages. Very cool effect. He put that together. And also the blog post for the roadmap came out. Um, Yeah, and I guess that just it should be a clear write-up of what's coming up and what's planned. So don't know if it's worth to summarize that right now or like if anyone has like inputs or questions, I think that's worthwhile to discuss. Also for this DAO call, there was one proposal um, that got published. I think it's still in draft. I think Lawrence posted it, so I put it on the agenda as well. I think that's a nice one to go over. It's the EFX bridge to Solana proposal. Um, Other than that, like in general updates, I think yeah, that like the roadmap does cover part of it, but a bit more concrete is that we're progressing with the V2 system like quite steadily now. It's nice to see we have a bit more hands and eyes and people involved, and we're hoping to like start the pre-registration. So have people like the ideally we would have like workforce members that have been active for a while that are experienced with the project to already get like early access to this platform as soon as possible. Um, so yeah, that goal is still the primary focus, and we're taking big strides toward it. Um, I think that's just the main like general updates. Next to, of course, all the info released for in the blog post and in this new proposal that got published.
Mhm. Yeah, so not quite demo ready yet, unfortunately.
Not demo ready yet. No, no, it's not there. We hoped this we would be there now, but we got like the release that came out for the website and stuff did take away a little bit of the resources there to prepping the demo, but it's getting closer and closer. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess we can segue into Lawrence's proposal because there's been a lot of discussion over both having a bridge to Solana and also migrating any of the effects protocols there. So I guess, Lawrence, do you want to discuss your proposal?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, just a quick bit about the new website and of course also the rebrand back to Effect.ai or Effect AI. I have to get used to that. Yeah, so yeah, for me, I already said it in the last DAO call as well. I'm really happy to just go back to the roots. This was always been the goal to decentralize AI. So it's good to get that original name back. The website got a nice overhaul. It's gonna be shaped up a little bit better in the coming weeks as well. We still have a designer to go over and improve some parts a bit here and there for the website. It's good to see that there's a roadmap, and yeah. So now I will move on to the Solana bridge part, which I already have a draft proposal for, which I will assign to the next cycle. I think it starts Friday, the next cycle.
Yes, very soon.
Yeah, so Yeah, so we had a couple of discussions already, also in these DAO calls, about making a bridge to Solana. And I think, and there's other things that need to be discussed as well. Like we of course have the token, and that plays a big role. And then of course we have the force and the DAO. But this proposal purely focuses on the token side of things for now. So any other discussions about moving different parts of the protocol stack, like the DAO or the force, to Solana, or how to integrate Solana better into our existing stack, is for a different proposal. So this proposal is purely for, okay, how can the token be bridged? How will that work? What would technically be the implementation for that? And I think yeah, it would be, and this is also something that we already discussed before. There is already the possibility to bridge from Binance Smart Chain to Solana through Wormhole. So you get like this Wormhole wrapped token on Solana if you use that bridge. And of course, we already have the bridge to bridge from our native token to Binance Smart Chain to the P network bridge. So from Binance Smart Chain, you can then bridge again through Wormhole, and you get like this, the pTokens EFX version of Wormhole. But we want to basically have a real native token on Solana. So there will be a token program on Solana with our like native EFX Solana token. And there will be a liquidity pool, which should stay at a ratio of 1-to-1 to basically swap your bridged Wormhole tokens to our native Solana EFX token. And then of course that opens up a lot of possibilities. From there on, we can, for example, add another liquidity pool just for trading that token, for example, with Sol or USDC. But that's all up for discussion. But yeah, the main thing is that liquidity pool one, where we bridge through Wormhole and then basically unwrap that Wormhole token into our own native Solana EFX token. That's basically what is proposal. It's number 154 proposes, with a little diagram attached to it to explain it a little bit.
Yeah, I think the diagram helps a lot. So basically, the Wormhole EFX is kind of, I guess, this initial liquidity pool will be kind of like with stable coins where one EFX equals one EFX. And I think you wrote in a proposal that if there's a disparity, arbitrage should take care of it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's a couple of ways to go about this, right? We could write our own program, which is sort of a burn and mint smart contract, which basically would burn the Wormhole tokens and then mint the native tokens. But yeah, we would also need the other way around. So we have to write that smart contract. We have to let it checked. We have to write a front end for it. So I think it's better to just open a liquidity pool with a ratio of 1-to-1 with enough liquidity for people to swap in and out. And if there's a disparity in that pool, arbitrage should take care of that, because it's still both tradable on Binance Smart Chain and on Solana. So as long as we have liquidity on both these sides, arbitrage will take care of that ratio, and it will keep it a 1-to-1 ratio. That means that we don't have to build like a front end. We don't have to build a new smart contract for it. We use basically the existing UIs for swapping these tokens. Jupiter, for example, as the UI. And didn't decide yet on what provider to use for the liquidity pool. So we will have to do a bit more research into that. And maybe we can use concentrated liquidity to more they keep that 1-to-1 ratio with less liquidity needed.
And how much liquidity would be needed for this? Is that in a proposal? Maybe I missed it.
No,
Like
that's
for
not yet in the proposal. That's also one of the reasons why it's still in draft, right? I want to add a bit more numbers to the proposal, a bit more clear numbers, and do a bit calculations on the ratio that's needed, or the liquidity that's needed to kind of uphold that ratio. It also depends a bit on how many people swap, of course. So if there's like big swaps going on, we might have to add a bit more liquidity into that pool. Otherwise, people basically cannot bridge back and forth because it would be it would disrupt the ratio too much. So reasonable swaps back and forth should be able to happen with the liquidity we provide. So I'll try to add some more calculations into the proposal before I publish it to the cycle.
Yeah, Alan asked a question about what about security of token? I assume I guess this is kind of, is this one of the reasons you're making a native EFX token?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly one of the reasons. So we feel a lot more secure by just having a native Solana token with the regular token program, or at least, or maybe the updated token program, but the official token smart contract basically from Solana that's well tested. That's not part of that bridge from Wormhole. So we can trust that it's like basically a normal Solana token, just like all the other Solana tokens. So I think having this solution and this technical way of doing this extra liquidity pool to go from the Wormhole token to our own native token is more secure than keeping it in the Wormhole token. Alan is also asking about the different types of EFX. Yeah, they should have the same value. That's also why the ratio should be 1-to-1, because they should have the same value on these chains. It's the same as with our current bridge, right? You can sell and buy on the Binance Smart Chain, but you can also sell and buy it on DeFi Box, for example, still. And you see that arbitrage is also quickly taking care of price differences in those two markets. And the same will happen with our Solana token. As long as there is enough liquidity on all these different types of tokens, basically, then arbitrage will take care of that they will have the same value.
Do you think the foundation will be able to take care of both sides, or do you think you would like the DAO to contribute some EFX for this initiative as well?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Depends a little bit on the numbers, of course. I think the foundation would be able to at least do the liquidity part, pool one basically, so the Wormhole token to the EFX token. I think that should fall mainly on the foundation. But
Actually,
the proposals. Yeah, go on.
That makes me think another thing. So, with a new native EFX, we're gonna have to, I guess, we don't want to, make EFX out of nowhere, right? So we're gonna have to take out of circulation some amount of EFX, right?
So so basically the foundation that is providing the new Solana token should so basically they are, let me quickly think about this, then I'm not saying it wrong. So print the new Solana token, which has the same value as the original token. But I suppose the foundation is the only one that first has this native Solana token, right? The only people that can buy that token are basically people with the Binance Smart Chain EFX, because they can bridge it over to the Wormhole token, and then the Wormhole token can be used to exchange for that new Solana token. So as long as we make sure that the foundation only prints that token to put in the liquidity pool, then I think that's fine. Because then only because the liquidity pool has a 1-on-1 ratio, so then only only what's in the liquidity pool is able to be bought. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's an important one to pinpoint because maybe it's missing a bit in the proposal, but we're moving because there's going to be this officially supported Solana EFX at the end of this proposal, which is a specific token on the Solana blockchain. And of course, the security will be that someone is that minting authority. That's where the security thing comes in play, which I think should be clarified that this would be the effect network foundation that would manage this minting authority in a transparent way. And of course, on chain, it can be completely verified that the tokens being printed, that happens in a transparent, the numbers are correct, and that the minting authority is like a secure multi-sig that can be published. And then I think that's sort of an essential part for the security aspect. And then indeed, the question DJ asked was so important, how the printing, when minting, when tokens are minted, that it's in balance, that there's not going to be any excess supply around, of course. Transparency, I think, is the main way to make sure it's secure. We don't rely on external parties in this case. And the pool can in both be, I think that Effect Network Foundation would publish the largest amount in that pool to make the one-on-one balance, and people can contribute and arbitrage will happen automatically. So to ask the question, these liquidity pools, who benefits from making them and contributing? So they would be made, they're an essential, this one liquidity pool is kind of special because it's basically unwrapping Wormhole EFX. So it's kind of a special one. So it's an essential one for the protocol, and people benefit from putting liquidity in there. There's a small fee on it, right, Lawrence? That we will be paying liquidity providers will get the fees from this swapping, from unwrapping the EFX.
Yeah, exactly. The same as providing liquidity in PancakeSwap will give you rewards. So whoever wants to contribute to that pool and provide liquidity there will also benefit from that pool.
what about these other pools that you discussed? Because even if we have this initial pool, it can't really be used by Solana users unless there's another pool for like EFX and Sol, or EFX and USDC.
Yeah, exactly, right. So this pool is not to really buy or sell tokens, right? It's basically only to it's part of the bridge. That's how I see that first liquidity pool. But then of course we need then we have this native token on Solana. So then we need a good strategy around having a good liquidity pool with USDC or Sol, or maybe even both. Where the Solana Foundation will also provide liquidity on both sides. So it will provide liquidity on the EFX side and on the USDC or the Sol side. yeah, we should have enough liquidity in that pool as well, so that people on Solana can trade the token there, can buy the token in that liquidity pool. So the liquidity pool number 2 is really for to attract the new users on Solana and to attract new people on Solana that want to trade and buy the token in that pool. And of course, the same applies here. Everybody that contributes liquidity to that pool will benefit from the fees. So the more people that trade on Solana in that pool, the more fees you will get. So the more you will benefit from adding liquidity to that pool.
Well, I think for a
There's
pool like
ways
that,
to. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that with a pool like that, we'll probably have to be more worried about impermanent loss. So we probably will need a farm for the second pool. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. So just as with like the pancake swap liquidity pool, there's always with every liquidity pool that's not like a backed ratio basically, will have the risk of impermanent loss. That's the general risk of liquidity pool. But yeah, we can incentivize people and help to offset that risk by, for example, create a farm. Indeed, to incentivize people to add more liquidity. I think the bigger that liquidity pool is, the better. So yeah, if we can incentivize people with a farm, then we should definitely do that. Yeah.
Do you think the foundation has the resources for a big initial amount? Because I don't think the DAO members alone will be able to contribute that much because it's already spread out on DeFi box. And
Yeah, so we'll still have to see how much exactly we can do with the foundation, but yeah, it should have enough funds to basically provide enough liquidity into that liquidity pool. So yeah, again, we will start off with the foundation, putting in most of the liquidity, and hopefully more people will join as well to create an even bigger liquidity pool here, so that
yeah,
people
the DAO can
can
definitely
trade.
fund the farms like it's always done.
Yeah, that will also be good. I'm not sure if I want to put that also already in this proposal, right? This was more about a little bit more about the technical bridge and like acknowledging the new Solana EFX token. And we should definitely think about transparency here and security when minting this new token on Solana. And then I think there are gonna come several new proposals. For example, to create a farm, or to help with the reward for the farm, or to think about integrations between the blockchains and the current smart contracts and the current stack that we have running, or that we can maybe migrate some parts to Solana. It all depends on discussions that we need to have. And so this I feel this is for the Solana migration. This is one of the first proposals that needs to happen to really migrate to Solana. But I think this is one of the most important pieces, that at least the token is there on Solana, and we can benefit from the good liquidity pools and the good DeFi and the user base that Solana has. And from there on, we can see how we can migrate more parts potentially to Solana as well.
Right. It seems like the other core advantage of having the native token is the capability to migrate components of the Effect AI system. I remember with Binance Smart Chain, you tried to do the relay. There was this relayer system which kind of worked, but it also was very clunky for the user like interface type thing. Like they'd always have to like confirm transactions all the time, and it was pretty frustrating. So I guess of course the details are light and it's all still being brainstormed. But do you think, like for example, that the force like workers will be able to just do work on Solana?
it's good. Oh, go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So I think that could happen. It's a bit premature to talk about it now because we need to launch the V2 and that's like it needs to work well.
Right.
I think yeah, there's multiple options, right? But in the end, they should be able to work. People should be able to work on Solana. If you look at transaction speed and just the infrastructure there, that's definitely possible to work on the Solana blockchain. I think we're going to see more on an architecture level, more advancements where you can work even as a peer-to-peer in a peer-to-peer manner, where only on-chain the settlements on-chain will be more like aggregations of your work, and I think settlements could potentially happen on. That's how I'm currently thinking about the architecture, but it's very much still vague and in progress. But where you could settle on different chains, or perhaps even work in a ZK manner where you can prove the work you've done and settle on different chains. There's also an option that we just have the EOS marketplace, but there will also be a Solana marketplace with matching or slightly different feature sets. So I think there's just many opportunities and different ways to make that happen, which is at the moment a bit too early to really pinpoint.
Right. I remember both in the roadmap and in your proposal, Lawrence, that we both stated that you have a lot of experience on Solana, and also we're interested in like-minded or collaborations with like-minded projects. I feel like whatever will help, I guess, offer the Effect AI service to all the dependent AI projects on Solana, whatever helps it the most, I think is best.
Yeah, there's a whole wealth of projects on Solana that are doing AI deep in data processing. Like it's a lot. The ecosystem there is really big, and there's definitely like so many ways to like participate there. So we can really benefit if there's parts of our ecosystem running on Solana that will be able to integrate with the projects that are there. It's a major reason to do this. And yeah, there's many elements that could like be migrated there, like the tasks marketplace or certain elements of it, the DAO, certain governance structures, some rewards from the token. There's many elements that can go there, but this needs more thought. I don't think we're at the place where we can make the exact roadmap yet for the features to put there. Like this bridge would be definitely the first step. So having a solid, safe way of bridging the token would be the first step. And I think I hope the DAO is going to be in favor of that. So then we can make the next plan for what these would be worth to migrate. But that being said, like the V2 first needs to be up and running, and we need to take the learnings and make sure that we actually have a product that's attracting clients.
So speaking of V2, is that going to be like a whole new smart contract?
Yeah, this is a new smart contract on
We
EOS, the
have like
V2
V
task
account
marketplace.
EFX. So okay.
Yeah, it still uses the V account system, but it's not going to be as heavily based on it as before. It's like you work with an EOS account. That's now the default. And there's going to be a system to get a free EOS account when you register. So like the onboarding process won't suffer from it. But we're not going to rely on all the V account features anymore. So workers can actually just be EOS users, and the transaction relay system will be like more standardized. I know Warfgate has been building this standardization for transaction fee delegation. So we would use something like that in the app to make sure that workers basically need no upfront resources in order to work on the platform and be onboarded.
And I know Rochelle has been talking about that there's going to be a lot of tasks. What sort of tasks are there going to be?
Different kinds. Like we're going to onboard quite some different kinds. First of all, we'll be working with some projects to create data sets that are actually useful in the sense of like Leon and the data sets we've been collaborating with creating with them. So like those types of data sets, like there's no announcements yet on what they are. We're definitely eager to speak with any project that needs data sets, as during this launch, I think we can offer quite a good setup for them to get the data sets they need. So we're hoping like a few of those AI data set generation, and there's a few ideas that are floating around now. Also happy to discuss any ideas from people on cool, like really useful use cases for using the effect network workforce right now. Like also when it comes to processing data that comes out of AI. Think about like Solana has been running a lot of these. We discussed it before, like these whisper jobs that could use post processing. But there's a lot of AI sourced data that can use human touches. So we're looking into like supporting like a whole area of those types of data sets that will be part of the V2. Some other cool idea that I've been like toying around with and discussing with few people is to maybe launch like a I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there's this platform called Chatbot Arena, and it's where people create different LLMs, and this is used by quite a few researchers and organizations to figure out how good is an LLM really performing, because right now there's all these tests that are being used in all these white papers by Google and Amazon on the performance of AIs, and it's not a really good metric. Like it's a very like how well they do on certain school tests, but it's not the metric that gives you insight in how human like and how intelligent they behave. It's not a perfect metric for that. So these chatbot arenas are basically where people grade conversations with.
You cut out there.
Yeah, we lost you, Jesse, but I can continue a little bit until. Oh,
Yeah,
you're
go
back.
ahead.
Oh, we hear you now.
I don't know when I could do it, so someone can
You were talking about Chatbot
let me
Arena.
know. And then how far did I get?
Basically, you were at the where you was gonna end like the last two sentences were cut off, I think. So you were trying to explain that people can vote which LLM actually performs better for the same questions.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to give that example, like that idea has been sort of thought about, prototype, and like there is a bunch of other ones, but we should be able to come up with like there's also data collection, which we have certain use cases for that we would like to launch during the like. I'm just giving a few examples of what's brewing, and there's definitely going to be like a wealth of different campaigns. Social engagement is also a sector that's going to be active during the V2 launch. So there's quite a wealth of different data sets that are being worked on, processed, produced. Yeah, just to give you some insights in the question you asked, DJ.
Yeah, that chatbot voting, that's reinforcement learning from human feedback, right? The RLHF.
It's a bit easier. It's just a grading. So you're basically saying what's better, ChatGPT or Claude, right? And
Yeah.
like this is like a human metric. Like what do people find better? So if we would have certain experts or just general population, but you can also say like what do like people with a certain profile find better, and then there's just 1,000 people grading a conversation with a chatbot. Basically just it's just a ranking for how good these LLMs are. in a human metric standpoint.
Yeah, I've seen the various rankings, many like trying to like gauge how good they do in tests, which is I guess good for accuracy, but not necessarily good for, communication.
Sorry, did you get that? Or
Oh, yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I was just commenting that yeah, a lot of the tests I saw for LLMs are based more on how accurate they are in solving like college tests and stuff like that, rather than communication. So yeah, I think it'll be real useful to have a rating systems based on like users evaluating it. Although all those tasks, all those potentials for tasks seem great.
yeah, that's the chatbot arena one. I kind of like the idea because I think there's currently the chatbot arena that's currently being used. It's very popular. It's I think being sponsored by a few big organizations, and but I think in our case we could incentivize it, and it would just have a more like because it's more verifiable on chain and it's more like clear what's happening, and potentially we have a bigger workforce that can contribute. So I think and it's always good to have more of these rankings and ways to grade the steps of chatbot. So yeah, it's a use case I think will be very very powerful, and people would like to see that happen.
Yeah, it reminds me of the DevOps idea I had a while back where like with Nasana you can run the compute for the AI LLM model. And so you could literally just post a model and have like basically these tests that automatically happen and evaluate it as soon as you create it, which I think could be really nifty.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right. I think should we cover the proposals that passed? Um, so so everything passed. The foundation will add the ELS NFX liquidity to the FI box.
Oh,
Um,
that's one of them, right? Yes, I will sync there and make sure that it's added to the box. Yeah, I'll check in. Like there's the it's about the EFX NFX pool, right? So that will be
yeah,
where
the
we
EOS
or
NFX.
wait, let me EOS NFX pool. Yeah, okay, the EOS NFX. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to reopen the proposal. I notice sometimes our proposal system is not loading because I think we're spending the RPC node. Yeah, indeed. So that has to happen. It passed.
And then the next is my ATP
This will
for
be.
the farm on the FI box. So that's my first ATP, and I guess and aside from that is the hackathon prize pool that I set up kind of a process to start building up USDT. Kind of unsure like how much it will end up with ultimately, but I think it'll be good for the DAO to have USDT to work with. Because I'm hoping as we expand to Solana, the partners or the partners we may get partners for like a potential hackathon in the future. Because the thing I'm stoked about from V2, aside from all the great potentials for tasks, is the Python SDK, which I think will be a great target for the next hackathon to like encourage people to build whatever tools they want to help generate data sets useful for AI.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Python SDK is gonna be amazing, and also good to see that the USDT conversion is happening. So it's gonna be a cool hackathon. Once we get all this out, then we have a really proper foundation for doing a good hackathon.
All right, I think we covered everything in the agenda and the proposals. Are you gonna? You said you're gonna put this for the next cycle, right, Lawrence? Your Solana bridge proposal.
Yeah. I'll assign this to the next cycle.
All right. I guess once you like figure out the exact, I guess, ratio or amount of EFX you want that pool to have.
Yeah, I'll try to come up with some more numbers for the proposal, but that's something that we can figure out. Yeah.
And then Jesse, are you gonna move this cycle forward? Because I still need like the guide to like actually execute proposals. Like with the high guard.
Yes, I will do this one, and I will use this opportunity to make the guide while I do it, because that helps me. So then I can like do the steps and write the guide. That works the best for me. So I will do this cycle on the Friday.
All right, sounds good. And did you add? I know last time I did it, and then like the fees and distribute. Is that component now written there too?
Yeah, I have to write that component out. Like it's a bit bugged right now. You have to do the steps in a specific way to upgrade the cycle, and that shouldn't be. So I will write out the guide and make sure that this system works like that anyone can do it. So I do have to update something to the process and change the guide that it reflects the right steps.
All right, sounds good. And I think that's everything for this DAO call. And we're all looking forward to V2 and its launch.
Yes, we too. It's coming soon. Hopefully we can show some. We're still waiting for designs, but hopefully we can show some at least wireframe examples on the next DAO call. Yes, good one. Thanks everyone. Thanks DJ.
Thanks. Bye guys.
See you next time.
Right. Hey guys.